Alright, what's doing, lads? So recently we've hit 150k subs and I thought we'd do a Q&A video. So I asked a bunch of you to shoot me some questions and I've got a pretty big list here to punch out. Should be interesting. So in the background there's just going to be some 1v1 gameplay of a tournament that I won recently. I think it goes from the early stages, the early rounds to like the last round. I nearly choke at the end, which is interesting. But yeah, gameplay's not that special, so hope you enjoy that. I don't normally ask for likes, but if you do enjoy this video, drop a thumbs up. Alright, so the question I get asked the most: when did you find the EJ Dash? How did you find the EJ Dash? So, back in the day, I used to be like a meta finder in the early seasons. Someone like Martos, if you guys watched him, but obviously I had way less of a following at that time. And I was just mucking around in creative with this move that I knew was a thing, and I started using it in fights. I'm going to show on the screen now, like the first clips I got with it, and it just evolved from there, and I just kept finding new things to add on to it. How many controllers have you broken? Now, if you know me well, you'll know that I've broken a fuckload of controllers. I think I'm into like the 50s or the 60s now, and there's a funny story to this. So at my local EB Games, there was this big fat idiot who worked there, and every time I'd walk in to buy a new controller, this prick would literally start throwing a fucking party. Even if the shop was packed, this bloke would make the biggest scene. He'd be like, "Here he is, he's back folks, the man himself. What colour do you want this time, champion?" And I'm just standing there like, mate, shut the fuck up and give me whatever. All this is going on while I got like usually 20 people standing behind me fucking looking at me like a freak. Ended up started going to like Kmart and Target and shit. But ever since I like got into creative, I never really broke them. I only really broke most of them when I was playing like Rocket League or pubs and Fortnite or COD. But yeah. Do you actually play laying down? Yes, I play laying down. I do not sit in a chair. That probably sounds really weird to a lot of you, but I've been doing it for years. I'll probably do a setup tour soon so you guys can see that. But yeah, I lay down when I play. What res do you play on? I play on 1656 by 1080. How much time do you spend in creative every day? Now, you guys probably think I sit in creative at 10 hours a day. That is definitely not true. I barely play this game as much as I did. I probably play it for 2 hours every 2 days now. But back when I was grinding in the early seasons for like wins and scrims, probably 3 hours a day. But yeah, definitely not as much now. Are there any controller players that stand out for you for both comp and creative? I'm not going to comment on comp because I got out of that a long time ago and I'm not up to date with the best players in that. But for creative, geez, there's so many underrated players that just aren't like recognized and should have so many more subs than they do. Then some of these bigger guys who are just posting simple like 360s and stuff, when these dudes are like out here grinding their asses off to get insane clips. A couple off the top of my head, you got Rhinos, Chilsey's Distance, Delature, Weeder, even the man who's asking the question, Tiddy, and there's so many more that I just can't think of right now, but these guys are standing out because they're doing stuff that's different. They're doing new stuff. They're not just doing the same old 90s and fucking spamming cone shit. They're out here grinding and they'll get noticed and they'll get the subs that they deserve soon. Do you play to be the best creative player or the guy that no one can beat? Now, there's a bit to this, so right now I honestly couldn't give a fuck if I lose or win a 1v1. I haven't played a competitive 1v1 in ages. Now, I've said this before, OCE is ahead in creative because we're such a smaller region and we have less players. And we went through that 1v1 period and the 1v1 wages and finding out who's the best 1v1er so much faster, and we moved on to the more like clip side of creative way before NA and EU. And so when we were doing these 1v1 wages, we were doing things that no other region had even like seen before. Like, for example, we were doing dashes 6 months before anyone from NA had even like knew what it was. So basically, I've already gone through that period of who's the best 1v1er and all those 1v1 wages, and now I'm at the point where I really couldn't give a fuck if I win or lose at 1v1. It's more just about clips and creativity now. Can you beat Sway in a 1v1? Can you please go to NA and 1v1 Sway? Can you please verse Sway? Can you please verse Sway? I get this all the time. Now, obviously, we live on opposite sides of the globe, so a proper 1v1 won't be happening anytime soon. We could do both on Asia servers, but I think that's like 200 ping each, and that just wouldn't be a proper 1v1 at all. But for some reason, if the stars did align and I was in America, or for some random reason he was in Oceania, and we did verse, I honestly do think it'd be 50-50. Just because I don't post much wager videos doesn't mean I don't wager or do competitive 1v1s. There was a couple months there where I was just 1v1ing, doing competitive 1v1s every day, wagering. So I think it would be a close fight. The kid's an absolute freak, and hopefully it does happen one day. Who knows, maybe Fortnite does a 1v1 World Cup. How did you start calling everything horny? I don't even know, Aussie slang is just fucking out of this world. I fucking make words up for anything. Horny is just fucking, it's just quality, like fucking get horny, like I'm fucking horny. That's horny, that's a horny clip. Like it just works with anything. How many times do you say the C word per day? Way too much. In Australia, the C word's used to like greet your friends and family. Is creative getting stale for you? No, not really. I can see myself staying with creative for a while. I do think Fortnite is hitting a peak, and that being said, I really only enjoy seeing new stuff, which will be interesting to see where the game's at in a couple months' time, because there's only so much that can be found now. What are your plans moving forward? Anything in the works? Moving forward, I am going to be streaming a lot more. Hopefully when the new COD comes out, it has a big following. I'd love to post some videos of that. I was a sniper and a trick shotter back in the old COD days, so that'd be nice to get back into. Also, me and Squeaks are thinking of doing another video like the most creative builds in the world montage that we made, which would take probably a month to make, so that'd be a big project, but yeah, that's in the works. Best thing about being Aussie, go, the lifestyle. What games before Fortnite? So there's probably only 2 games that I've mained apart from Fortnite. It'd be COD and Rocket League. Been playing COD since Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops 1, way back then. Been sniping and trick shotting for ages. And Rocket League, played that for like 2 years now, and then switched to Fortnite, and here we are. Are you worried about what claw will do to your fingers? Yeah, a little bit. I've been playing claw for like 8 years, and it hasn't been too stressful on other games, but on Fortnite, it is really straining on your like your wrists, your fingers, and all that. So if you don't play claw right now, I definitely advise you don't go out of your way to switch to it. Use paddles or something else. If you could have any superpower ever, what would it be and why? I'd be invisible, so I could do whatever the fuck I wanted and get away with it. Would you come back to comp if Nels made a return? I would definitely come back to comp if Nels started playing again. If you don't know who Nels is, he was my duo before he quit, and a lot of you don't know that I used to main scrims before I did this whole creative thing. Back in the early days where you had Discord servers and you'd submit scores to bots and there'd be leaderboards and that, and I was pretty good at scrims. I would win a lot of like tournaments regularly, and it was a lot of fun. But when Nels quit, I kind of stopped as well. Like, we had chemistry that like, we wouldn't even be talking, we know exactly what each other are doing, and to build that kind of chemistry again with someone is pretty hard. Like, we played for months with each other. And I think we'll finish it up there. I hope you enjoyed this one, lads. I'm going to leave the gameplay running in the background for the people who want to see how this tournament ended up. It was a 1-5 between me and Aspect in the final. I was playing pretty shit. I think the score was like 4-2, and then I started botting out hard at the end, and he made it 4-4, but I managed to just get there in the end. Anyway, this is something a little bit different. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
EJ needs to chill. 32. Yo. Biggest. Nick Raider. I actually love Nick, man. Did he just bird cage it? way he just did that. What did he do, bro? What did he do? What I missed out on? What did he do? Oh, damn. Yeah, aspects is good. This is the best thing aspect. Oh, GG, 4-2. Imagine though, he's actually lagging bad. Oh, he's looking for the clip. End it. Yo, end the game, EJ. Don't do it. Don't do it. Hit him with it.